having to use my EF 70 to 300 at 70 millimeter, and it's about 15 feet away. But we'll try this. I could have got my EF 50 micro out. But what I want to do here today is just to go from my favorite lenses here and to talk about focus breathing compensation. And yesterday on a walk to pasture, I used a small RF 16 f2.8. I love the size of this lens. It does not have image stabilization, but when it's on the gimbal and when we have at least the first position electronic stabilization on in the camera, it does really well. What I don't like about it is the focus breathing. And we're going to do some demos here after this take, and we'll show you how bad it is. So mainly I'm going to just save it for the f2.8 spec on it for doing like wide angle star photography or indoors, or you could use it when you're locking in the focusing, when you don't want that focus breathing. But this is about you could probably get it for $200. I think I paid $160, but that was a couple years ago. And this one photo company had it for sale. I thought, better get it. When you see something dirt cheap and it's supposed to be in good shape and you're thinking about it, better just pick it up. Pick this one up. This is the cheap, and it's a lot lighter. Actually, these are about the same weight. Maybe this is the RF 24 to 50 kit lens, what they call, just a cheap lens. It actually is collapsed like that. And to use it, you've got to extend it to the 24 millimeter position. Super lightweight, but it has focus breathing. And that's worth its weight in gold, I think. It's a fairly slow lens. What is it, f4.5? And then when you zoom in to 50 millimeter, which is there, it's like, I'm going to say 6.3. Don't know if that's the spec. I'd have to, I don't have my glasses on. I can't even read it here. But it has image stabilization built in. They're dirt cheap. I only paid $113 for this thing. As far as the sharpness on any of these, they're going to be comparable. Don't worry about the sharpness on any of these lenses. So we'll try that one out. My next one, just like a bigger brother. You can see all around it's bigger. It's the RF 15 to 30. That'd be the wide angle version of this. It's a heavier lens. I wouldn't doubt if it weighs half times as much, maybe twice as much. But it's the RF 15 to 30. Goes from, well, 15 is going to be pretty wide. It's not the widest they make, but it's pretty wide, and it just goes to 30. So I can't even get into the normal range with it. But very good performance. Built-in image stabilization. The camera will do breathing compensation, focus breathing compensation. So no problems there. Before I bought this one, I used this exclusively on the gimbal. Good results. Gives you a wider angle. Now the next one's kind of a beast. It's a lot heavier lens. Not a whole lot heavier than that, but it is. You've also got to use it with an adapter to go on this R8 camera, the EF to RF adapter. And this lens is a kit lens, they consider. It's an EF 24 to 105. f3.5, that's at 24 millimeter. Then at 105, it's a 5.6. But it gives you image stabilization, very fast, quiet focus. But you can see in our tests, there's a little bit of focus breathing. Not a whole lot, but there's some. The camera does not compensate for it, but it also can't compensate in video mode for barrel distortion, particularly noticeable at the wide angle. It's not real bad. With scenic landscapes, you'd never see anything, but if you're doing a lot of buildings, you probably would notice it. Of course, you can compensate for that in your video editing software, but it's a heavy lens, but it's faster, f3.5. Takes a bigger filter. You're going to put a filter on it. Sharpness-wise, it's okay. No problem with it. I've had it probably about 10 years. It's probably not worth much. They're a little bit hard to find, but I used this exclusively on the Oregon trip we did last summer on my gimbal. It reaches the limit of the gimbal because I got it locked here in the unlock it here. You see how that really extends, and that the weight is going to shift unless you compensate for it in the gimbal. It reaches the maximum that gimbal can compensate for. The gimbal can handle it if you balance it properly, and I really love the 105 millimeter position on it. But I really like the lightweight of this one. This is about half the weight of this, if not more. And it's got the focus breathing compensation and the barrel distortion, or could have pincushion distortion at 50, not sure, but its camera fully compensates for the distortions in it. So, love-hate relationship with this lens. I think it's an underrated lens. A lot of them go with let's say the EF 24 to 105 f4 L lens, or the RF that would fit this camera directly. It'd be the RF 24 to 105 f4. You know, I probably couldn't even get $150 for this thing, but those lenses are going for $1,000. If I was going to go out and just take pictures, no video, or video without the gimbal, and I was just going to set still there, this thing is totally usable in that mode. Matter of fact, I did one video on the Sternberg Museum using nothing but this lens without the gimbal, and you can check that out on my YouTube channel there if you want to know what this thing will do. But all my Oregon coast videos is using just this. We're going to try the different lenses here for focus breathing compensation. This is the RF16 f2.8, which I used yesterday on the outdoor usage, but we're going to try different exposure compensations here, or breathing compensation. So now I'm focused on the background, pretty wide angle there. But if I bring my hand in there, you'll see how it's about as close as it can focus probably, how the background changes. If I drop it, see how it kind of recedes and it comes forward. I just hate that. We're going to try different lenses. That's the performance of the RF16 f2.8. Okay, now I switched on I put on the RF 15 to 30 zoom lens, and I have this approximately at the 16 millimeter setting. And we're going to try this. This has breathing compensation built into the camera. This is why it's useful. I bring my hand up here. I don't know how close I can focus my hand. And then I drop it. See, the background just smoothly goes into focus. There's hardly any shift. See how nice and smooth that is. The background image doesn't change size. And we'll try it at 24 millimeter settings with a couple different lenses here. Okay, now here is the RF 15 to 30. It's at f5.6. It's at ISO 1000. But we're at the 24 millimeter setting. Now you can see the background defocused. It's on my hand here. Then it goes back. How nice and smooth that is. That's why you really want a lens that has breathing, focus breathing compensation. And Canon has a chart saying which lenses that is available on. We're still in ISO 1000. We're f6.3 at 30 millimeter setting on the RF 15 to 30. Bring my hand in here. See how nice and smooth that is. I hear absolutely no noise from the lens. At RF 16 I could hear a little whirl noise. Okay, we'll try some other lenses here. Okay, now I slapped on the cheap RF 24 to 50 kit lens, running it at 24 millimeter setting here, f4.5. Might not focus that close, give you an idea here. Okay, just a little bit of change. It's pretty smooth. Okay, here is the RF 24 to 50 at the 50 millimeter setting. Let's see if this works. I gotta stick my hand out a little bit further so it can focus on it. Only focus about a foot away. So it's pretty smooth. It's got the focus breathing compensation built into it. Okay, now I stuck on that monstrous EF 24 to 105 f3.5 lens. And we're at the 24 millimeter setting. Had to go down to ISO 640. Since we're running f3.5 right now, stick about a foot in front. You can see the focus shift here a little bit. Dead silent focusing though. And also this lens does not get perspective control compensation. So the lines will be a little bit, it'll be curved a little bit. Barrel distortion, that's what I'm trying to say. Be a little bit of barrel distortion. Very fast focusing though. Now same lens, the EF24 to 105 f3.5. At 50 millimeters it's an f5. And I didn't compensate with the ISO, so it's a little darker. Oh, that really shifts hard. Okay, same EF 24 to 105 lens at the 85 millimeter setting. Had to open up the camera, so I'm at ISO 1250 f5.6. Very fast focusing for video use. You can see we got some breathing, focus breathing going on here. Okay, now I put on the EF 70 to 300 lens at the 70 millimeter setting. I can only focus about 3 feet in front of it, so here I'm standing in front of the camera. We'll see what kind of focus breathing. See, it's pretty minimal one of my favorite lenses, but I don't hardly ever use it. It's just so big and bulky. Very fast focusing, I think. In video mode, you'll never focus as fast as still picture. Let's just crank that up to 100 and see what happens. I'll step back here. See, there's almost no focus breathing. But I'm back about 4 feet from the camera. I don't know how close I can focus here. Yeah, see, I'm losing it there. Okay, I thought I'd show you what this EF 70 to 300 looks like with the EF to RF adapter. It gets to be pretty bulky. I was talking about this one being bulky. You can see the difference here. Excellent lens though. Use it for wildlife. You know, you can extend it out there. It's got a little funky LCD panel here that you can do some things with. Not really useful for what I do. But don't get this and confused with some of the earlier versions that did not have this LCD panel. This is a really fast acting or focusing lens. See, the focus breathing compensation is pretty good on it without being compensated in the camera. Sharpness is really good. They say it's a little sharper probably at 300 than at 70, whereas the cheaper versions of this lens, 300 was terrible, 70 might be acceptable. And it's got really fast focusing for birding or animal photography. Really love it, but I just don't use it that much. If I'm going to go out shooting birds, I'm going to use my RF 800 f11. But again, this is still available new from Canon. I think they want about $650 for it. Realistically, I think I had this advertised once for $150 or $200 on Facebook. No one's interested in it. That's kind of the way it goes with these things. But I'm going to keep it. Got a good R8 camera to go with it. It works just fine.